Hey Guardians, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a seriously fun and powerful build for Destiny 2, the Prismatic Arc Warlock, featuring the Edge of Concurrence exotic hunter Glaive. Yes, you heard that right. Thanks to a bug, Destiny is keeping all classes now get access to previously locked class exotic Glaives. And trust me, this build is an absolute PvE monster. Let's break it all down. But first, while you're here, don't forget to click that thumbs up like, smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to stay notified of more gaming content. I also stream 3 to 5 days a week on all major platforms. The links are on the screen now and in the description below. Now that the shameless plug is over with, let's get back to the video. First up, let's talk about the Prismatic Warlock itself. We're running the Stormtrance Super for the ultimate electric damage blast, zipping through enemies with ease while dishing out some serious voltage. This super is perfectly combined with the exotic Glaive, keeping those enemies at bay, all while your Arc Soul buddies from Getaway artists are zapping foes with some backup firepower. The Edge of Concurrence Glaive, wow, what a game changer. The formerly Hunter exclusive Glaive is now available to all classes and is an absolute beast. With its ability to block incoming damage and with Glaive's recent buffs, it's more reliable than ever. You want to make sure you take full advantage of that special shot because each hit causes jolt, which pairs perfectly with our current artifact mod. And we all know how powerful Jolt is with all the arc synergy we have going on with this build. Thanks to recent updates to the Glaive itself, which now allows melee strikes to count towards the 5 hits to give you your charged shot, it keeps the ammo economy really high with this. You never really have to worry about running low on ammo, and it's the perfect fit, especially when you're using some double specials like we are here. And speaking of ammo, we're pairing the Glaive with Tinashe's Mastery sidearm that you can get from Iron Banner. This beauty helps us stun all champions thanks not only to the artifact mod, making sidearms able to pierce anti-barrier champions, but its ability to freeze with the roll with choke clip also allows you to stun, overload, or unstoppable champions, making this a very versatile weapon for this build. But you can also substitute this for a sniper if you want to go that route and have something to shoot at a distance. For example, a crafted Supremacy would work really well here, or any other sniper rifle in that main slot. And as with sidearms, there's an artifact mod for this for anti-barrier snipers. And our setup already will allow for our other 2 weapons in our loadout to be able to stun the other 2 champions anyway, so we really don't need the sidearm here to be a jack of all trades, and the sniper will give us that distance we need. This method will actually make this viable in all content without using Tinashe's. As for the heavy weapon options, I recommend something like a 𝔹𝕼ℼ𝕆𝕋𝕆𝕆 for your heavy machine gun, something that is arc and builds into that arc synergy. You can use a heavy GL. I was using Bittersweet. It all really depends on what content you're doing at the time and what boss you're fighting. The heavy GL seems to not work as good like in the new dungeon in my opinion. The heavy machine gun is kind of my go-to right now. So I really like the 𝔹𝕼𝕆𝕆 for that. But personally, it just depends on what you're doing, what you want to use for that heavy. Probably something with a bait and switch if you're doing a damage rotation, ad clear, whatever it is. Now let's dive into the Getaway Artist Exotic Armor. This piece is going to be the core of our Arc Soul generation, which will give us that extra support in battle. Getaway Artist allows us to convert a grenade into an Arc Soul, and they'll do damage while you're focused on destroying everything in your path. It's all about maximizing that arc synergy, and we do this because there is no fragment in Prismatic that allows you to get an Arc Soul. All right, let's talk about our ability setup. We're running Phoenix Dive for that nice instant healing when you're in the thick of battle. Works well with our general mobility. You also want to grab Strafe Glide, whatever glide you actually like, really. Feel free to swipe it out for whatever you feel comfortable with. The Arcane Needle, that's going to give us 3 powered melees, and Storm Grenades are here for that additional zoning and damage, especially when you throw a Storm Grenade and you create chaos on the battlefield, which we find out later in our fragments will also create Jolt and jolt our enemies. As for our prismatic aspects, we're using Feed the Void and Lightning Surge. Feed the Void will give you some nice buffs to grenade energy gain and health regen, which is huge in places like the Nether and harder in-game content. While Lightning Surge is great for closing the gap and zapping enemies in your path. It's all about keeping your energy flowing and hitting hard with those lightning-based abilities. Pairing this with the Arcane Needle now gives us 3 opportunities to do this attack and clear massive amounts of energy, jolting targets while creating ionic traces, which will not only help get our abilities back, but also be powering our armor, charge, and surges when we get to our mods later on in the video. As for the prismatic fragments that we will be rocking, Facet of Balance, it's going to build up our abilities whenever we kill our enemies, whether it be with light or darkness. Facet of Dawn, it's going to make us radiant, giving us a 25% damage buff. Facet of Protection, for the extra incoming damage resistance, because we're going to be up close and personal with our glaive, stabbing things. Yes, we have the shield, but we'll be stabbing things, so we need that extra little bit of damage resistance, and this way we won't have to use a mod either. Facet of Purpose allows us to build a bolt charge by picking up orbs. That's the reason why we're using the super that we're using, because bolt charge has been proven to be super OP. So any way that we can build that bolt charge quicker, I want to build into, because bolt charge is putting out a hell of a lot of damage. And lastly, we kind of mentioned this earlier, Facet of Dominance allows our grenades to jolt the enemy, which is something that is key and we really want to do, and builds that synergy further with this build. All right, let's talk mods. I'm not going to go through every mod, because mods really depend on how your armor is set up and what kind of stats that you have. And we'll get into stats here in a second. So I'm just going to run over the key mods that I say you should have in your deck and ready to go, if you can, and try to maneuver things around to have these. We're aiming for double arc surge. It's going to make it to where that the glaive does more damage, to where your heavy does more damage. I'd love more damage. Special ammo finder is a must for the helmet. Even though you have great ammo economy with the glaive, if you are using Tenacious Mastery, I do say do the special ammo finder. If you're not doing Tenacious Mastery, you might not need to use it, but if you are using a sniper, you are going to need special ammo. So I do like special ammo finder. If you do finding yourself using a lot of glaive shots and not as many melees, you might want to get that special ammo finder, but that's totally up to you. But I do think it's a must. Of course, harmonic siphon, so you can generate orbs with those arc kills, because you'll be getting arc kills left and right, whether it be your glaive or your heavy. And as for armor charge, if you want to build your armor charge, I say use elemental charge. That way you have to use less of your energy for your armor. You'll be making a lot of ionic traces. You'll be building a lot of that armor charge through elemental charge already. So I would say use that, and then charged up to stack as much armor charge as possible from those for those extra buffs for the surge mods and whatnot. And if you want a full rundown of the mods used, check out the dem link in the description. And as always, like I said before, feel free to mix and match for your playstyle to your preferred stats, because not everybody can run the same mods. And finally, let's talk about stats for this build. We're aiming for 100 discipline, 100 resilience to get the most out of our grenades, to survive in high damage scenarios. Dump as much into recovery. It's a big bonus, but discipline resilience to me is always the stat you should build into. I know they're changing armor so we can go above 100, so maybe this changes in a future video and we're still using this build. I'll update it. Armor is changing when we get to frontiers, but yeah, I always try to say get 100 in both of those, get recovery as high as possible. This build is absolutely amazing to me. I think that it's pretty OP and can be used anywhere in any kind of activity. It's honestly been one of the favorite builds that I've used so far in any of the episodes that have came out, whether it be like the 𝕇𝕼 builds or anything like that. This has been one that I've been enjoying the most, and I have to say glaives are back. Glaives, were they ever here? I don't know, but glaives are back. Glaives are meta, especially now that you can use the exotic glaives on any guardian class. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. And if you are playing this in episode Heresy, here's some artifact mods to look out for right now. Overload machine guns, if you want to stop overloads with your heavy instead of with like Tenacious. Piercing sidearms, if you want to make that Tenacious do a little bit of everything. Anti-barrier sniper, if you want to use that as your anti-barrier instead of the Tenacious or another sidearm you're choosing. Unstoppable glaive, so that way we can stop unstoppables up close and personal with that. We're going to continue with overclock and lobe, which is going to give us increased handling and reload speed anytime we're amplified our bolt charge, and that's going to be the entire time. So we'll always have increased handling and speed. Hold line is another good one, because machine guns and glaives increase reload speed and stability. Final blows heal you when you're surrounded. We'll be using our glaive. We'll just be staying healed just from that alone. Dielectric, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Defeating arc debuffed targets grant bolt charge. We'll be defeating arc debuff targets all the time. We'll be jolting them, so we'll get bolt charge. Another good one is photonic flare. Defeating an exhausted or severed target with arc damage releases a blinding burst which blinding enemies is huge. Flashover, when you gain maximum bolt charge, you also become amplified. Lightning bolts deal more damage. Need I say more? Also, this will keep you from having to use special ammo finisher once you get there. Rapid glaive melee final blows grant special ammo glaives additional ammo. Blocking damage with glaives increase their melee damage to targets. So, not only will you be able to generate more ammo for your glaive just by killing with your glaive, but blocking incoming damage with your glaive and then attacking with your melee attack is going to increase that melee damage even more. So your glaive again becomes more powerful. We're building into that arc glaive fantasy you see. And then the last two that I would definitely say take a look at is heavy ordnance regeneration, dealing sustained damage to targets with heavy machine gun. Rocket launcher grants resistance and increases grenade melee regeneration for a short duration. If we get our abilities back, that's always better. And then defibrillating blast, stunning a champion grants maximum stacks of bolt charge. We're going to be in in-game content. Everything we're going to do is going to stun a champion. We're going to get maximum bolt charge. We're going to trigger an arc bolt. It's going to kill enemies. It's going to heal us. And again, guys, if you want a full rundown of the video, the mod used, everything, check out the dim link. It's also in the description below. Thank you for watching, Guardians. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit a thumbs up, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more build guides, Destiny 2 content, retro content, a little bit of everything, live videos, live streams. Let's go. Do what you do. What are you most excited about this build? Do you think this build is viable? What would you do to change it? What would you like to see me build next? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, stay electric, and I'll see you next time. Old man Sim out. Peace. Oh, he just fucking made me do a fuck. That's how I dance in real life, bro. Just like that.